Hello there, everyone. If you're watching, let me know in the comments. Hope you all had a good weekend. A lot to talk about today. There's been some breaking news today, which is interesting. I'm just going to check this is running okay. Last thing I want is to be talking to you, and no one is watching. It says there's 3 people watching at the minute. Hi, Ashley. I'm just checking it is running before we get into it. So, hi everyone who's watching, everyone that joins in later, anyone watching on a later date. Comment, let me know if you're watching live or if you end up watching it at a later date. It's really interesting to see if people join in live or not. Hey Ashcroft, but yeah, it's been interesting weekend of football and especially even more interesting a day. Big breaking news today. Man United have finally sacked Eric Ten Hag. Now, bit shocked if we've done it now. Personally, I would have done it before the international football break. Just give the chance to maybe look for someone else, or even just let the what's it called, caretaker manager get a bit of time to get his head around it instead of doing it like right now. And I think they've got a Europa game in a few weeks. They've got Premier League game. He's still in Carabao, not sure. But yeah, crazy. Liverpool fans, we sort of love him. He's given us some of our best games against Man United. Who could forget 7-0? Who could forget this season's 3-0? Like, crazy, crazy times. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any good memories of Eric Ten Hag, whether you're a Liverpool fan, whether you're a United fan, if there is any United fans watching this. I know we have some City fans that watch. Let me know. There's some Everton fans as well. Or let me know your opinion on United getting rid of Eric Ten Hag. But also if you have any good memories of him, like I said, personal favourite for me, 7-0, 3-0 this season. Them two are just brilliant. Ashcroft saying bring Ole back. Possibility that could happen. I am all for Southgate, you're the one now. I just think that'd be funny because I don't think I'll get into it a bit later on, but I don't think it's the manager that's the problem at the club. Jack says, "Hey Courtney, hope you're well." Hi Jack. Callum said, "I've just seen United are in for a Morum. I mean, that's more than an upgrade, to be honest." Yeah, definitely. And he also says Liverpool 7-0, and Liverpool 3-0 equal 10-0 hog, which is quite funny. And Dan the man says 14th place makes me a little misty seeing Ten Hag leave. Yeah. Lucky Singh is a United fan. As a United fan, let me know what you think on Ten Hag going, but also like, do you actually? I know he's won cups for you. Let me know like what your favourite final was or anything like that, because I think that is interesting as well. John's travel experience. Hi Courtney, how you doing? Enjoyed Ten Hag's time at United. I'm doing good. I've been very busy this week, which I'll hint a little bit at later, but not much I can say on it really. But yeah, just keep an eye out later on the channel. I'll be hinting at a few things when I get the chance to, when I talk a bit more about Patreon. And before I get into this weekend's matches, I just want to say this will be the last free to watch Matchday Monday. After this, it will be going over to Patreon as a Patreon exclusive live show. It will get released as anyone can watch it back a few days later. But if you want to be able to watch it live like you are now and join in with the chat, please go and check out Patreon, because I'm going to make it as fan inclusive as possible. I think it'd be nice if we could all sort of like jump on here now and again and actually have some of you in the chat join in, either video wise or just like a phone call sort of wise conversation, and you can go a bit more in depth on your thoughts of the games. That will be coming at a later date. I need to sort of figure out how I'm going to do it, but we're going to try it out. And also on Patreon, there is going to be monthly exclusive giveaways. The first one was a Robbie Fowler signed Anfield Road sign. This month's one is a signed programme by Mark Lawrenson and Phil Neal. There will be other LFC goodies that go alongside it. But what I will say is there is some amazing, amazing, amazing items coming up that sort of I wish I could keep myself. I'm sort of going like, am I really giving this away? So really like keep an eye out for them because next month's giveaway is really good. The month after that giveaway is really good for December. And there's one that's gonna be a bit of a task for you to be able to unlock as a giveaway. So that's gonna be really cool. But there will be more of that announced when I get closer to it. I'm just waiting for some things to happen before I announce it properly. Yeah, I'll quickly go back into the comments before jumping into the games. Lucky Singh says, yes, you rivals have enjoyed lots. Yes, definitely we have with Ted Hogg. Andrew Scott says, you'll never walk alone. Hiya, Courtney. Hello. Um, Jack says, that 7-0 is probably my best memory as a match going fan. It is up there, definitely. And Lucky Singh again saying, Man United fan, my issue is that our club didn't agree. Ideal keep starting Bruno Fernandes and Lindelof, I'm guessing. I'll get into my thoughts on United later on. I just wanted to put it out there about Ten Hag and get a little bit of a chat going, see what everyone else was feeling about it. But that being said, let's get into this weekend's games. I've got my little notebook with all my notes for each game here. And obviously, we have to start it off with an already quite big title clash this season. Liverpool's first possible title clash. I am still wary about saying that we will be in for the title, but it's looking good. I don't like to jinx anything. But yeah, Liverpool went to the Emirates to face Arsenal and managed to come away with a point. Very hard fought point as well, I feel like. So it ended up being 2-2. Arsenal had Saka and Marino scoring, while Liverpool had Virgil and Salah as goal scorers. Now, I felt like it was a very 50-50 game. I think the draw was the equal result. Um, both teams had brilliant chances to go and score. I will say though that if you'd asked any Liverpool fan, I think before the game, we would have took that point. After we scored that second goal, I feel like all the power was in our hands at that point, and we just didn't manage to capitalise on it, which is fine. Arsenal are a tough team to play at the minute, and for the past few seasons, going to the Emirates has been really difficult for us. So I am more than happy with that result, and I felt like the performance overall was really good from both sides. I feel like Liverpool, we played well defensively. I will say Robbo did seem to get caught out quite a bit by Saka. He seemed to be struggling. And I have noticed quite a lot this season that Robbo does seem to struggle a lot more than he used to. And I don't know whether that's a match tiredness thing and he needs a break, or whether we're starting to see, obviously, he's not old, but in football terms, he is starting to reach that point where he could possibly start to decline. I hope not. But I definitely think there is a thing now where we need to look at possibly in January, definitely at the end of the season, getting a young um, right back, left back. Why can't I remember what side that's on? Anyways, just anyone who could come in and replace. Because as much as I love Simicus is brilliant on the attack. I feel like defensively he's not as strong. Robbo used to be stronger defensive wise and not not as good going forward. I felt like, don't get me wrong, still a brilliant player going forward, but I do feel like that was um the bonuses with them two being able to switch them for them sort of roles. I do feel though like we need to sort of look at bringing someone in, whether that's we bring someone in and then Simicus goes or something like that. We definitely need to look at. But did notice that with Robbo. Second goal though, I just want to say, brilliant ball from Trent to Nunes. I don't think Trent had his best game. I will say that. I don't think it was a brilliant game for Trent. But that ball was brilliant. And give Nunes like credit. He could have easily tried to go on and score them, but he saw the pass to Mo, played it brilliantly, and Mo scores. Now, sometimes Nunes isn't going to pass that. If the roles were first, Salah isn't going to pass that. So it made up that they managed to sort of go, do you know what? No, that's the pass I need to make. Let's score it. And it's not just Nunes and Mo. Like any strikers aren't going to try and do that pass. Some are going to take like their own shots. But yeah, possession wise, we had 55%, they had 45%, really close. Shots on attempts on goal were both 9. That's how this just shows how equal of a game it was and how the right result was a draw in my opinion. And that's like me being like trying to be unbiased as a Liverpool fan. Of course, I'd love for us to have the win. Do you think the draw was the perfect result? I think it was like a fair result. Then on target, they had 3 shots, we had 4. So like I said, really, really, really even all over the pitch. I felt like. Um, but yeah, I'll go back into the chat quickly because I can see the chat's going really off. I'm just got saying, did you see the FIFA president was calling out the VAR call on Moreno's goal, i.e. he was offside? I haven't seen that. When I was watching it last night or yesterday afternoon, I was like, I swear he's offside. I swear he's offside because I don't know. It was the shoulder, like one of the shoulders looked like it was on side of one of the players. Virgil's boot looked like it was actually further back than the other. It was just It was yeah, we saw the lines, but we didn't see them too close up, which was a bit interesting, and they also didn't draw lines down from anyone to prove that the shoulders were also onside, offside. So that was quite interesting. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the FIFA president said, if he said anything. Lucky Singh said, as a Manchester United fan, I want new players to start. Let's develop. Yeah, I will get into that a little bit more once I get to the United game. I did put it later on because I didn't think anything interesting was going to happen today. Was wrong with that. Away draws at the top of the table are okay as long as they're accompanied by home wins in the second match. 100% done. Lucky Singh says, um, why we keep picking favourite players. Jack saying Robert did struggle. I felt like we did everything better in the second half, to be honest. Then again, I watched it in the bar in Edinburgh with no volume, so may have missed things. Andrew Scott saying Robbo got cooked though by Saka and Manduka last week. Concerns are there. I will say the concerns for me have been there for a while. Love Robbo, got nothing against him. Think he's been a brilliant player for us. I think even when Jurgen was here, there was times, and this is like a few seasons ago, there was times where I felt like Robbo was showing he was tired. And this is what I like about Slot, the man management style of it. I know Trent wasn't happy when it started, but that ability of being able to rotate the players a bit and give them a bit of a rest. And there was times in the past with Robbo where I've seen that, and I don't know if it's the same case again or if we are starting to say maybe we need to look for someone just in case. But yeah, it is definitely really interesting, the Robbo stuff. Bum, 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 bum. I'm just making sure. Um, so I've got Go Sixer saying hello, Courtney. Solid away point, brilliant away point, I think. Veronica says, how do you feel about the 2 up-and-coming games against Brighton? Got mixed feelings on Brighton at the minute. I think away might be tough. Just especially I think with the away fans, it's a late kick-off and sometimes like the away fans really do help the team. Like you saw it yesterday at the Emirates. And I think the away game, I think that's going to be the one we struggle with. It being a late kick-off, hopefully the fans are still in full voice, but that could be interesting. Home 100% we win. 100%. Next game, City 1, Southampton 0. Now, this was a big shock for me. I genuinely felt like with City, we'd see a big scoring game. This could be their sort of comeback from recent form, because the recent form hasn't been the most convincing. But I was looking at this fixture and I was thinking, this is going to be a dominant City. And they did start off with a really early goal from Haaland on the 5th minute. And I was thinking, oh no, here we go again. To the point where I actually didn't watch it. Like, I watched the highlights, obviously, for this. But I didn't, like, watch the full game because I was just like, do you know what? This isn't going to go well, like, as a opposition fan, rival fan. But yeah, like I said, it was 1-0. And I've said this for weeks now, almost since the beginning of the season. I've sort of said it quietly. Beginning of the season, I was like saying it between family and friends. On here, I've said it in the past few weeks. City have not been clinical enough this season. There's something missing. Don't know what it is, but it is not the same City. Now, could it be burnout from going for the trebles and stuff like that? Could it be the burnout from that? Could it be the fact it looks like this is Pep's last season? And obviously we saw what it done to Liverpool last season when the players were aware of Klopp leaving. Not on purpose, but mentally it does have some sort of like effect on them that they're not even aware of, it almost seems. Um, but yeah, I've said it many, many times. They're not the same this season, and as a Liverpool fan, I hope that continues. But we're yet to see how it goes with them. I hope it continues at least until the beginning of December when we play them. I feel like that is a really big test for us at home. But at the minute, I feel like we win that if we keep up our form and City are playing the same way when they come to Anfield. It could be a really, really big game for Liverpool. So that was interesting. It was also Haaland's 75th Premier League appearance and he scored his 74th goal. Now, I'm not his biggest fan whatsoever, but that is crazy to look at and see and think, do you know what, that is crazy. Andrew Scott, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. He says, appreciate your videos and passion for LFC. Go get a coffee on me. Thank you so much. That will actually be going towards something really special. I am going to be announcing soonish that I've got plans next year. Hopefully you all are as excited about it as me. I understand it's not going to be everyone's things, but a massive thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. Yeah, very passionate for LFC, as you can tell by my room behind me. And there was loads coming up on this channel, so be prepared, strap in. It's going to be a busy year by the looks of it. But yeah, I also want to say as well, Ramsdale for Southampton in goal. Absolutely brilliant game. I felt like a lot of keepers this season, especially for teams that are struggling, seem to be playing really well. I've said it many times that Wolves keeper he seems to be really good for them. It saves them a lot of times. But yeah, it is a crazy time for City, I feel like, because if I was their fan, I've got stats here. So the possession was actually quite equal. City had 58% to Southampton's 42, which is a shock in itself. But the attempts on goal, City had 22, Southampton had 5. So that is what I mean, that like Ramsdale done really well, but it was just I cannot say City being the same at all this season. I can't see them, and this might end up getting like jinxed, but I can't see them going back into the form we're used to. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on City, because I would like to think I am not the only one that feels that. But maybe people have got different thoughts to me. I am just going to check the comments again quickly. Lucky Singh says West Ham lost hurt me a lot. Callum says the one at Anfield, I think we went 2-0. Hope so. Hi from Thailand. Hello. Jack, City are not winning games convincingly at all. 100% agree with that one. And weirdly, pre-season, I said that on holiday. I went to like my little brother went, City, like there's something up with City at the minute. Whether that changed when the season started, I said to him, I don't know. But obviously that ended up changing. Um bum, bum, bum. Jack, have you done anything towards the Sowies Place fundraiser, Courtney? I have donated anonymously on the GoFundMe. But yeah, go and check that out if you can, because Sowies Place is our hospice in Liverpool that is for children and babies who have life-threatening conditions, and they are basically having to move. I don't know when it's by, but they have to move, and they need to raise, I think it's £6 million. I believe they've just gone over 5 million today, which is absolutely unbelievable. But they still need that little bit extra to secure a new place for them to move into. So fingers crossed, Zoe's place, like everyone, I think it will. It looks like the support around the city and everything is gonna save it. But yeah, Mitchell Marks, evening Courtmeister, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I hope you're good too. Andrew says hello, Courtney. Hello, Andrew. Callum says yesterday showed we need a 6. And he also says, I agree, City squad is aging, 100% agree with that. Ruben Amorim will coach in Man United currently. Hope that's false. He'll make in Man United very well. That's from Jalal. I I don't know whether I'm gonna if that's gonna happen. Personally, I think it's gonna be Southgate or this interim manager. I can't think of it's an ex-player. Name's gonna do me head in. But I do think he could end up getting the job full time. Um, Andrew Scott says maybe off topic, but Trent Alexander-Arnold going to Madrid or not, in your opinion? His head turned already. I keep changing opinion on this. I was speaking to a mate about it the other week over WhatsApp, and I said to him like my thoughts just keep changing completely. I keep going 1 minute, yeah, he's staying, and then the next minute I'm like, oh, I don't know, and I start to think of McManaman. I think Trent would be stupid if he does the same move as him after seeing the way fans treat him as an ex-player now. Like he is not usually welcome at Anfield at all, or welcomed by fans much. So it would be interesting from that regard. I do keep saying though, as these weeks go on, it is going to be interesting to see fans' reactions to him at the ground, like when he's being subbed off or subbed on. And I think as well, the way he reacts after the Real Madrid game when that full time whistle goes is going to be really telling. I think that game is what I'm waiting for to make my mind up is he staying, is he going? And that's going to be whether that might be what he's waiting for. He wants to play against them and see what he's watching on TV in person before he makes his mind up, but who knows? I was talking about this earlier with my dad, and we did say that, do you know if he signed a new contract and then next year went, but we got the money for him then? Yes, I'd be bitter, I'd be hurt in the first instance. But as the years go on, you'd be like, do you know what though? He didn't leave us high and dry. So that's my little thought on it. Let me know in the comments what you think on the Trent situation. Um, let's just check what the other ones are. Ta-da. So, right, next game. And this is another big conversation that everyone's having. We're already nearly half an hour in, and I'm only on the third game. So West Ham 2, Man United 1. Now, this is the game that ultimately saw the news break today, which was Ten Hag has been sacked by Man United. Did see it coming, but I thought they were either going to do it before the last international break or they wait until like the winter transfer window opens or until they had someone lined up. Now, they don't have anyone lined up right now, it looks like, so that is interesting. I will say though, early on in that game, Dalot missing the open goal. I don't know if anyone's seen this. Go and watch Matchday if you haven't, because it was crazy. The goal is wide open. The keeper's out, way out. He's gone around the keeper. It is at a bit of an awkwardish angle, but as a professional footballer, you should be scoring it. So that was really, really shocking. First half, United were the better side. I felt like they had the better chances than West Ham, and we've said it a few times this season so far that West Ham have struggled a lot of times. But that second half, West Ham come out and they're just that little bit better, and ultimately because of being 0-0, they do end up getting the win. Let me just have a look. So yeah, the penalty, um, Delay just doesn't get the ball in my opinion. I've got Jack there saying the West Ham pen right at the end there was mental. Um, it was. But it's one of those, like, I can understand why it was given, but I can sort of understand the argument of like, "Oh," but I feel like, and we say it each season, the officiating lately's been really crazy. We've seen it last weekend against Chelsea for us wasn't the best officiating from the ref, felt like, so it is a really difficult decision, like, on penalties like that, I feel like, because some of them are given at the minute, some of them aren't. Let me know in your opinion, do you think the West Ham penalty should have been given? Um, Andrew Scott is saying Hammer's penalty was pretty weak. There was contact on Ings, but it looked so minor. Now that's the thing, it wasn't. it was what I like call a soft pen. Um, but you can understand it's given either way. But at the minute, they seem to be getting given, so it is one of those. Um, but yeah, not much else to say other than farewell, Ten Hag. We've enjoyed your time in the Premier League as Man United's manager. Who knows? Maybe in the future you end up back at Man United. If not, I hope you go to a European team and have like some decent times there because you've gave all us non-Man United fans a brilliant, brilliant past few years with you. It's been fun, especially as a Liverpool fan. I want to personally thank you for the 7-0 and the 3-0 this season. Like 7-0, I'll never forget, especially the send off for Bobby Firmino with him getting a goal in that game. But yeah, we're gonna miss you. Can't say the same about United fans missing you, but the rest of the Premier League will. Thank you. So just had to put that in there for them. Other than that, there wasn't much to say on their game. I will quickly go through these comments and try to keep up to date. But we seem to have quite a lively comment section today, so this is quite nice live chat. The Serbia might be going to Man United. Oh, that would be interesting. A big hello from Noah Screen. Hello, not too far away. Jack saying, I wonder if you can get to 20k subs by the end of the season, Courtney. That is a really big ask. But I do have some things coming up that might help that. Fingers crossed. Just put it this way, within the next few months, there's going to be a few things come out. Well, at least one thing come out that happened recently. I'm trying not to get too much into it because I can't say what it is that was filmed, but there's something really cool for you all to keep out for because I had really like a lot of fun filming it and it is going to be massive for this channel, hopefully. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Obviously, when I'm allowed to say what it is and share it, you will all see it, and it was crazy in the best way possible. But yeah, there was that, and then also giveaway wise, there's a few really cool prizes coming up the next few months, but there is one that I will be announcing, and it is absolutely crazy. Like and it is something everyone will want, like especially this season. I feel like so. Keep an eye out for all that. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, if you're not subscribed. I do a lot of football content, mainly LFC, but I also do content around Liverpool City and just things I enjoy in general that I hope you enjoy too. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, I've got loads of content off when Taylor Swift was in Liverpool. I am going to do a sit down video at some point about that because it was just crazy. Still can't get my head around it, but yeah. Final third podcast should have been 1-1, no penalty. The ref shouldn't have gone back to VAR. Jack, the West Ham pen right at the end was mental. Rizla saying Moyes in. Hammer's penalty was pretty weak. There was contact. I already read that one. Sorry, Andrew, about a really comment. And then Andrew again saying, I thought Ten Hag was the best manager he ever had. Rizla says all pen shouts against the man should be given. Jack says I thought it was a harsh penalty. And everyone just lolling at my little farewell at Ten Hag there. Bum, bum, bum. Will there be a full video from the River of Light? I'm not planning one, mainly because it's a bit awkward to film them and do it in a vlog format. I have tried to do it before a few years ago and really struggled. One, with it being dark and trying to use a camera on it sometimes doesn't work. Phone works well, camera not so much. I've been having issues doing vlogs with the phone lately. And also because of how busy it is down there at the minute, it's going to be awkward to film. So unfortunately, there won't be a vlog, but I have got footage that I will like keep posting little bits of now and again. Now I'm going to try and get through these a little bit faster. We've got Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Did watch a little bit of this on Saturday. My obviously was it Saturday? No, Sunday. It was the early kickoff on Sunday, wasn't it? Yeah, Sunday. my stepdad's a Newcastle fan, so I do take interest in watching Newcastle. I do quite like Newcastle. I've got nothing against them. It's one of those, if they're not playing against us, a lot of the times I do want them to win as long as it won't affect us in the league. Um, but yeah, there wasn't much to say about that game other than I have said it the past few weeks. Newcastle just can't seem to put in a decent performance lately, or they're putting in a good performance and not getting the results. Like they played really well against Man City and drew. Then they play Everton, and it was not a good performance at all. Who did they play last weekend? Was it Brighton last weekend? And they got beat 1-0. Wasn't a great performance. Again, my little brother and stepdad were actually at the game, and they did not enjoy it at all. And then obviously this against Chelsea. Now, don't get me wrong, Chelsea are a decent team right now, and we saw that last weekend against Liverpool at Anfield. I will say though, and I said this in last week's Matchday Monday, we managed to completely like make Cole Palmer disappear. It felt like I genuinely can't remember watching the game and being like, "Oh, Cole Palmer, oh, Cole Palmer." And don't get me wrong, I think he's a brilliant player. I still don't understand why Man City let him go, but he came back to life against Newcastle, and I think that was a really big issue for them most of the time. I do feel like though the fairer result would have been a draw, just looking at possession and that, and the way the games went. But it is it is a hard time for Newcastle fans. I feel like because I do looking at the team, I don't know what the issue is, and I don't feel like Newcastle know that either. So yeah. Um, yes, we did draw with Arsenal, but Arsenal are a lot harder side to play against than West Ham. Sorry, I'm just replying to Lucky Singh there, who is a Man United fan. And then pretty interesting result for the lower half of the table, which Man United are in. Sorry, I put that because Lucky Singh's just going on about the Arsenal game there. But yeah, we had Everton 1, Fulham 1. Now this this game, I genuinely was watching it going, "Oh, Everton have lost their form again here. Fulham have got this win." And it was typical Everton that it was a former Everton manager and a former Everton player who scored. So you had Silva, obviously is the Fulham manager, but then you had Iwobi, who scored for Fulham, which and he give him his due, he fully celebrated, which is rare to see from players who have played at that club previously. And then a bunch of subs were made, and I know the whole debate is, oh no, they were complaining about the fact Dyche took certain players off from the subs he was making, but it did. And if I was one of the players coming on, it did look and seem that people were complaining and booing the players who were coming on, which is going to knock your confidence. And one of them players that came on is Beto, who scored for them and got them the point. And you saw it like as much as I'd love to have seen Everton get beat, I do feel for Beto in that instance. The reception he got by the crowd when he comes on, don't care what you think of the decisions, clap and cheer the players coming on. Whether your moans and groans are aimed at the manager or not, just clap and cheer as they're coming on, like let them feel welcome. And you saw when he scored the emotion that came out of him, but also when that final whistle went, he was in tears on the pitch. And to me, that says something mentally, like mental health wise, he's struggling with. He's not getting much game time. He comes on, he gets that reception, and then he scores. Like made up for him. Wish it wasn't for Everton, but made up for him. So yeah. Um, and then Jack, I'm just going through the comments quickly before going to the next one. Jack says Courtney's on top form tonight, could end up being a big equaliser for Everton that later in the season. There's a few games this season they've had that though, and it's going to be so interesting to like see at the end of the season. At the minute, like beginning of the season, I was like Everton are going down. This is not good for them. I am now at the point where I feel like they stay up, but there's so much going on at that bottom section of the table that literally anything could change at any minute. It's all about, I think, who's in the better form after Christmas, and that little bit of like games come thick and fast part of the season, I feel like that's going to be really interesting to see. Um, I'm just laughing at some of the comments there. You're chatting between yourselves. Colin says, I think Everton could still be better than they are if they got rid of Dyche. Very interesting thought. I do feel like a lot lately, there's a bit I'm going to pick up on later. Um, I, I feel like a lot of blame's getting put on managers in the Premier League at the minute, and very little blame put on players. Um, you can see it, Man United. A lot of them players have been there for a good while now, but yeah, it's the managers that are constantly getting the blame. I think that's something that needs to be looked at, and there's also, I'm going to get into it in a bit, but Tottenham's another team, and obviously I think Everton's a team as well who for a good while we've looked at like that. Going on to the next game, which is Brighton 2, Wolves 2. And I will say, for ages I have said Wolves are putting in good performances and not getting the results. This was a good performance and a good result for them. I feel like Brighton, sorry, Brighton have been a really, really decent side this season. We're about to come up against them 2 times in a row, playing them midweek and then playing them next weekend at Anfield. That's going to be interesting. But yeah, it was really well played by Wolves. In all honesty, they had a really good game. The comeback from them, they were getting beat 2-0 with 2 minutes to go. And within that 2 minutes and the added time, within that 5 minutes, they scored 2 goals to get a point back, which I think shows unbelievable resilience from a side. And Wolves are definitely going to need that if they're going to be in this relegation battle. Really, really, really decent. I will say for Brighton's first goal, Welbeck, did mention him earlier on, saw Wolves keeper being a cracking keeper most of these games, absolutely brilliant. But he did make a really poor clearance that led to Welbeck's goal. Get a chance to go and watch it back. It was just a little mistake from a keeper when he's clearing the ball out to hopefully a Wolves player or get it just down the field. And he really, really doesn't do that. He gives it straight to one of the Brighton players and it leads up to Welbeck scoring. It's good to see Welbeck isn't injured after the other week, but was really, really poor from Saab after having such a good run of form. Yeah, that's all I've got to say on that one. So just have a look quickly at the comments. Right, Andrew saying Brighton have been decent for a few seasons now. To be honest, yeah, they've been brilliant for a good few seasons. I do feel like though that this season, like they seem a little bit more solid. I would say. I need to keep remembering their manager's name, but manager is he 31 in his early 30s? Absolutely brilliant, especially for his age. So it'd be interesting to follow his career, see how he gets on. Bum, bum, bum. It's me, Everest. Weird name, but okay. Ten Hag is not at the wheel anymore. Sad. Yeah, it's a sad time. Jack says another late goal that could be important going forward. Wolves usually struggle for goals. Andrew says, okay, off to get some done. Enjoy the day. All see ya on the Brighton Fed Currently see you then. Yeah, and Lucky Sing's going on about United. So yeah. Next game going to go on to was the Friday night game, which to be honest, I didn't know had happened until Saturday. But it was Leicester 1, Forest 3, and Forest this season, another team who've been in really good form. Obviously, the one game Arne Slot cannot let go is that we've been on a really good unbeaten streak. We're playing really well. Yes, but we got beat by Forest. Even if we win a trophy this season, he will continue to go on that we got beat by Forest. And do you know what? After the way they played since, I am not too mad about that because they have had really good form, and our performance last day wasn't up there. So yeah, Forest 3 goals, Yates, Chris Wood scoring 2 against his former club. Chris Wood used to play at Newcastle, and that was where I've seen most of him. And he is, I do feel like he's a decent player. I feel like he's a little bit of a underrated player in the Premier League. Like He reminds me of when we first started to say Vardy. And I know that sounds stupid because Vardy went on to win the Premier League, but I hope someone can sort of agree with me, like, he gives that vibe off. Obviously, Chris Wood's been around for ages, but, like, I do think he's very underwritten, underwritten? Underrated, underrated player. I will say that Leicester, the issue with them, and I think this has been an issue most of the season, and I think it's going to continue. And if they go down, it is ultimately the reason they go down. Are so sloppy defensively. It is unbelievable. It's going to be interesting to see if they can fix that at any point in the season, but it's happened for a while now. Andrew says he's been offered a ticket to the Brighton game Saturday, but can't afford it or the travel cost. Sorry to hear that. It's quite expensive to go to the game now. Jack says Chris Wood is on a madness this season. I remember at Newcastle he looked so poor a few years ago. Chris Wood is an insurance policy apparently. Sorry, I was trying to think of the words in my head and that came out before I could think of it. We should know by now I struggle with my words sometimes. Happens all the time, especially pronouncing players' names. It took me a while to get like, I think I got Soboslai straight away, but I usually struggle with new players' names. Going on to the next one, which is Palace 1, Spurs 0. Another team who have been, especially playing at their home ground, Palace, they've been putting in decent performances this season. Against us, yes, we got the win, but they did play pretty well, I feel like, throughout that game, and there has been other good games to watch against them. But this one, for the Palace goal, the build up from it, the defence from Spurs was really poor. You could see the goal coming. It's just the build up to it. There was a few instances where Palace arguably should have scored then, just because of defensive mistakes from Spurs. But I will say it's not looking good for Spurs, especially and you look at Eric Ten Hag today getting sacked. And I will say this, I feel like yes, the pressure is on the manager. It's gonna be they're the leader of the team that makes the main decisions. They're the ones that chooses who plays, who doesn't, who comes on, who comes off. So I can understand it to some degree, but when you're looking at teams like Manchester United, Spurs, even going to throw Everton in there off the conversation a little bit earlier on, um, you need to start looking at the players and maybe stick with the manager a bit longer, but give them a chance to do something different with the squad. Whether that's completely benching players you've bought for a few million and bringing kids in and giving them the chance, because obviously something isn't working at that squad, at them squads with the players. Especially United, you look at that like Ten Hag, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Mourinho. A lot of them players have stayed, but the managers have changed, and it seems to be the same old issue. And it seems to be that might be the case of Spurs. I was speaking to a Spurs fan the other day, and we were talking about that, and they agreed on the manager situation. And I said to them, I always thought Pochettino was the perfect fit for Tottenham, but it's just the players that were the issue. And they agreed, and they were saying like, yeah, like completely agree with you on that one. So that was like nice to see. Spurs fans are also sort of feeling the same, and probably United fans are feeling the same at the minute. A little bit more disappointed with the players than they are the manager. Same with Everton. Next game is Villa 1, Bournemouth 1. And hang on. McGinn actually scored a goal in the first half. That has been a little bit controversial, I would say, where scores, brilliant, celebrations everywhere. VAR then actually checked and the ball had gone out in the build up to play, which VAR is brilliant for that. I wish we could have them decisions and have them quick. But there's been a few incidences lately about that ball going out, and I keep thinking with the ball going out over the line, It's like arguments going, yeah, but if you look from it above, it won't be out, and this, that, and the other, because of the whole of the ball has to be over the line. Um, and for me, I just keep thinking, with that, can we not bring goal line technology that works outside the goal line and on the line for the ball going out, and it just tells you if the ball's gone out or not? Surely we can use that same technology to do that because we have it for the goal. So it is a little crazy. I will say though, Villa were really unlucky not to score more. I did think the Bournemouth goalkeeper had a really good game, and I keep saying this a lot lately. Goalkeepers seem to be saving a lot of teams this season. There's a lot of brilliant, brilliant goalkeepers in the Prem this season. It feels like. Um, Villa as well. They've got a lot of games at the minute, which is interesting. And I've said this a few seasons ago of Newcastle. When Newcastle went back up in the Champions League, it affected them for that season and the following season, it felt like. And is this another moment where it's going to do the same thing with Villa? Hope not, because it's been really fun watching Villa lately. So, see how it goes. And then finally, I do feel like, though, like I said, Villa were unlucky to not score more goals in that game. But I did feel like the draw was the fair result. Like, if you're not going to take your chances, the rest of the game was pretty even. Next game and the last game as well is Brentford 4, Ipswich 3. Now, Ipswich, I feel so bad for their fans because they should have probably won that game, and they probably think they were going to at least get a point from it. Because within the first half they went 2-0 up, and you're away from home, and they seem to be playing pretty decent football. They're yet to get a win this season, I believe. There was loads of mistakes from both sides though, which ultimately led to the result being 4-3 at Brentford. I feel like the fairer result would have been a draw, but like you've got to give it to Brentford coming back from 2-0 down and win the game 4-3. And it did go like, so it was 1-0 Ipswich, 2-0 Ipswich, 2-1 Brentford that scored, 2-2, 3-2 to Brentford, 3-3. And then Brentford got the last goal. And if you see the last goal, it is actually Venue. And he scores with a cross. It is the if you're gonna cross it at someone, worst cross I've ever seen. If you're going to score, best cross I've ever seen, sort of thing. Really, really good. But Ipswich did also see a man get sent off, and that was Clark. He got 2 yellow cards, 2 stupid fouls, in my opinion. He actually gave away a penalty to Brentford, which saw them go 3-3, 3-2, yeah, 3-2. And in my opinion, he didn't need to do it at either point. I don't think Brentford would have gone on to score from them instances where he's fouled the players twice. Like I said, I do think it's 2 stupid yellow cards he's given away, but yeah, not the best. Hirst, though, for Ipswich, who scored their second goal. It was his first ever Premier League goal, so congratulations to Hirst there. But yeah, like I said, that's it. As for matches, it was, if you're a Liverpool fan, it was a good weekend. Go to the Emirates and get a draw. I think Arsenal fans aren't too happy about that if you go online. They are blaming it on a lot of things at the minute. I don't think there's any Arsenal fans that will be watching, but if anyone does at any point, it is like, do you really think the refs' decisions were all that bad? And what made me laugh as well is, I don't know if anyone saw the post-match interview with Virgil in the build-up to this game. Arsenal were trying to make out they had a lot of injury problems. And Virgil sort of got asked about this in his post-match interview, and he went, I swear they've only got 2 players injured, and it was really, really funny. You go and see it, go and watch it and get the chance. I'm just going to go on to the chat dead quickly. Jack says, I said at the start of the season that Fulham may struggle for points this season due to the Champions League. Um, Jack says, didn't an Ipswich defender get a red card, own goal and something else? Yes, he got an own goal as well. So he got 2 yellow cards and an own goal. Not a good day for Clark there. Um, Bum, bum, bum. Jack, I saw something that said it's only the second time in Prem history where defender had an own goal, red card, and conceded a pen. That is crazy. But yeah, it was a good weekend of football. I feel like overall, few interesting results. Said it earlier on, City yet again not seeming like the team of old for them. We said goodbye to Eric Ten Hag today. Like I said, rest of the Prem will miss you. Man United fans probably as well. But I do feel bad for Ten Hag though, because I do feel like he's a good manager. I don't feel like United are the right fit for anyone at the minute, in all honesty. And that is me, Dan, also thinking the players need to like get sorted out. Um, but yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this week's Matchday Monday. Like I said, next week's Matchday Monday will be Patreon exclusive while live. So if you want to be able to join in on the live chat, make sure you go and join the supporter tier over on Patreon. It's £4 a month, and for that you get this exclusive live show to join in on. It will be getting to a point where you'll be able to join us via video call or phone call and chat about your thoughts on games. And you also get access to exclusive monthly giveaways. Last month was a Robbie Fowler signed Anfield Road sign. This month is a Mark Lawrenson and Phil Neal signed programme, 2 massive Liverpool legends, and also we've got some really, really amazing prizes coming up soon, so please stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you want to support the channel and support what I do, it helps massively towards that. Helps me put a bit more time into the channel and make it a better quality channel as well. That is the idea behind it, is that the money that I bring in from Patreon goes back in the monthly giveaway prizes and into the channel itself, whether that's equipment that I need to get or stuff like that, just to help grow the channel and make it a bit better, because equipment isn't cheap and the stuff I want to do, I just can't afford to do it yet. So yeah, thank you for the support on it as well. I know a lot of people in the chat or that have popped in today are part of it, and I just want to say a massive thank you for the support on Patreon. It is massively, massively appreciated. Like, without everyone watching this, like just that alone, if you watch any of my content, like I wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff that I do, and I do really appreciate it, and I hope you're aware of that and it comes across how appreciative I am of it. But yeah, that being said, we go on for the Reds. It's a massive week this week. 2 games against Brighton, one on Wednesday, which is away in the Carabao Cup, and then the next game is at Anfield in the Premier League. I will be at the Premier League game at Anfield, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. As you know, with me, very rare I miss a home game, so I'll see you all then. But yeah, thank you. I've just seen Andrew saying the DJI Osmo 3 would be good for you, Courtney. I don't know if it'd be good for the football, like actually watching the football, but it would be good for a lot of other things. I've been looking at the DJIs. I don't know if I'd go for the 3, I might go for the 2 just because it's a lot cheaper. But it is something I'm looking at, so thank you for that, Andrew. I'm also looking at a few other little bits that I need to get. So, and Lucky Singh says, never seen your channel before, looks all right. Thank you. I hope you've subscribed if you enjoy it. Subscriptions help sort of like let me know people are enjoying the content, because it means you're coming back for it. Doug says, hey Courtney, oh blast, I'm late again. I was watching Harry Potter. Hope you enjoyed Harry Potter. I think 7 o'clock's gonna be the set time for these, just because it's a bit easier for me, time wise. But yeah, that being said then, I'll see you all at the weekend for the Brighton game. I hope you enjoy all your games that are to come up. Whether you're a Liverpool fan and we've got Brighton midweek, whether you're another team's fan, and whoever you're playing midweek, if you're playing anyone, or whoever you're playing at the weekend, I hope you all enjoy these games. That being said, I'll see you all at the Brighton game on Saturday. That being said, bye.